Welcome into Dallas Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I am Chase Sr., and we are going to a seventh game. Why not? Let's go the distance. And for the first time in NBA history, the road team has started a series 6-0. So home teams in this series between the Clippers and the Mavericks, allergic to winning. And for the Mavericks, maybe that's good. Maybe they'll be able to claim Game 7 on Sunday at the Staples Center. Let's break down Game 6 because it was a masterful performance from Kawhi Leonard and really a fantastic game where we were riding the seesaw between two really good teams. Kawhi, he cooked up just a masterful performance, 45 points, 6 rebounds, 18 of 25 shooting. Paul George chips in with 20 points, Reggie Jackson with 25. Those were the only 3 Clippers who scored in double digits. As for the Mavericks, Luka Doncic, we'll explore his performance a little bit more in depth coming up. 29 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. Kristaps Porzingis was terrible, and he wasn't good in Game 5 either. Mavericks need more from Kristaps. I'm not sure they're going to get it because I think this is who Kristaps Porzingis is. And the Mavericks did get a solid game from Tim Hardaway Jr. That was very pivotal in this game where it looked like the Mavericks were going to be able to punch their ticket to the second round for the first time since they won that NBA championship in 2011. Some more Game 6 takeaways. American Airlines Center in Dallas was lit. And because of the coronavirus, we haven't had many opportunities to see a packed arena. You were able to see that in Dallas for Game 6. And the atmosphere was tremendous, really from the start of this one. And as we went down the stretch, the crowd was involved, and then they got silenced by Kawhi Leonard. As a sports fan, that's what you love to see. And really, what a game this was, where we were going back and forth, and it seemed like two heavyweights were just trading punches in a classic boxing duel that you saw in the 80s and 90s when boxing was actually a sport. Kawhi Leonard cooked up an incredible performance, and Kawhi Leonard looked like he did when he put the Toronto Raptors on his shoulders and brought them to an NBA championship, the first in their franchise's history a couple years ago. He looked like one of the best players in the NBA. And that has happened in moments this season, just hasn't really been consistent. Up to this point, I thought Luka was the best player in this series. Kawhi Leonard was the best player tonight. Because Luka somewhat lacked aggressiveness, and I was kind of surprised by that. Because Luka Doncic is never fazed by the moment, and I'm not saying he was fazed by the moment here in Game 6, but in Game 5, he was playing like a cold-blooded killer. In Game 6, though, seemed as though he was just a little bit more timid, and he wasn't really hunting his shots, hunting his baskets like Kawhi Leonard was. I hope we get the Luka from Game 5 in Game 7, and if that happens, I think the Mavericks will be able to be victorious on the road. So do you think Luka was too passive in Game 6? Let me know what you think about this, because this is a topic of conversation that a lot of people are talking about in the postgame as we're bringing you Mavericks Today just minutes after the final buzzer sounded. Type 1 for yes, he was too passive. Type 2 for no. Let's take a look at what Luka Doncic did. It's crazy because this is how good this guy is. We're talking about, oh, was he too passive? Did he pass up on too many shots? Did he take bad shots down the stretch? Could he have done a little bit more in terms of shot creating and creating for his teammates? Yet the guy still drops 29 and 11 as well as 8 rebounds on 11 of 24 shooting. So he was still pretty solid, but everybody's talking about Kawhi Leonard because he went in, he went off, and it was a work of art that you saw from Kawhi Leonard. He was hitting clutch basket after clutch basket, doing it in a variety of ways where he was knocking down threes. He was also hunting shots as well, and just able to create and hit some clutch step-back jumpers, sticking the dagger in the hearts of Mavericks fans who thought that the Mavs were going to be able to punch their ticket to the playoffs for the first time in about 10 years. 45 points for Kawhi on 18 of 25 shooting, 5 of 9 from deep, and a lot of those buckets coming in crucial situations at the end of the game or at the end of shot clocks. Your one-word reaction to Kawhi's Game 6 performance. Let me know in the comment section down below. For me, greatness. That's what I'm going with because Kawhi Leonard tonight displayed greatness. As we look ahead, Game 7 coming up on Sunday, 3:30 Eastern tip at the Staples Center. And as I mentioned, The home team has yet to win a game in this playoff series. It's the first time that has ever happened in the history of the NBA playoffs, which is just crazy. So maybe the Mavericks are going to be able to once again go into Los Angeles and come out with a win. And if they do, they will take on the Utah Jazz in the second round. Man, what a game it's going to be in Game 7. And if it mirrors Game 6, we're all here for it as long as it results in a Mavericks dub. Before we preview Game 7 and look at some major Game 7 keys that the Mavericks have to do to kind of come out with a win on Sunday night, we're going to continue to bring the latest news and rumors surrounding your Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs as well as the NBA offseason. So hit that big red subscribe button or go to youtube.com/MavsTV. We're going the distance in this wonderful, awesome series between the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Clippers. It all culminates with a Game 7 on Sunday at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Mavs, Clippers, tipping it up 3:30 Eastern. We're going to break down and look ahead to Game 7, but first, let's take a look at what this series has entailed because it's been a really good one. Mavs, Game 1, go into the Staples Center, pull out a 113-103 win. Luka Doncic continued to be the Clippers' daddy with a triple-double, 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. Mavericks able to take a 1-0 series lead. In Game 2, much of the same because Luka was once again phenomenal, this time pouring in 39 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Got a great performance from Tim Hardaway Jr., 28 points, 5 assists on 6 of 8 shooting. Yes, Kawhi Leonard chipped in with 41 points because really throughout this series, he's been outstanding. Paul George dropped 28, but still, Mavericks able to pull out a 127-121 win in Game 2 to take a commanding 2-0 lead in this series. But what happened after the road team won the first 2 games at the Staples Center? The road team returned the favor at American Airlines Center in Dallas, and it started with a Game 3 Clippers win, 118-108. Kawhi Leonard, the consistent theme in this series, has been playing like an MVP and like the NBA Finals MVP, in which he has 2 of those awards at the crib. 36 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists in this Game 3 118-108 win for the Clips. Game 4 wasn't close at all, and the Clippers really able to hammer down on the Mavericks in this game. And it was kind of a combination of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Reggie Jackson, all doing great things throughout the duration of the ball game. Kawhi, Paul George able to combine for 49 combined points. This was when Luka was really suffering from that nerve issue in his neck. Just didn't look like the same guy. Clippers end up winning this one in a blowout. But then as we turn the page to Game 5, Luka was looking healthy. Luka was looking spry. He had his bounce back. And he was looking like the MVP of this first-round series. Goes off for 42 points, 8 rebounds, and 14 dimes, able to shush the crowd at the Staples Center and able to kind of keep Kawhi Leonard and Paul George in check. Was that Mavericks defense as they pull this one out 105-100. And then in Game 6, as we take you to the current time status, Clippers win Game 6 at American Airlines Center in front of a packed crowd around 17,000 plus, 104-97. Kawhi Leonard just sautéing the Mavericks defense for 45 points, 6 rebounds, 18 of 25 shooting, 5 of 9 from deep. So, Game 7 coming at you on Sunday. Of course, we're going to give you previews like we're doing right now. We're going to give you recaps after this game is over. Hopefully, we look forward to a second-round series between the Mavericks and the Jazz. That's what we can hope for. But keys for Game 7. Luka has to step up. You have to have the Luka from Game 5, not the Luka from Game 6. Still really good in Game 6, just not aggressive enough. He has to match Kawhi Leonard. It's a tall task. He's a superstar, though. That's what you have to do. Outside of Luka, who steps up? You got a good game tonight from Tim Hardaway Jr. He's been pretty solid in this series. At times, he has disappeared. How about Kristaps Porzingis does something? For Mark Cuban, for Rick Carlisle, for Luka, they're hoping so. Live up to the $30+ million contract. My goodness. And you're not going to stop Kawhi Leonard, right? But can he be limited? Can you keep him from going in for 45 points? Mavericks defense, it has not been good throughout this entire season. has to be better in Game 7. And 2011 is looming for this franchise. Crazy because you think about the Dallas Mavericks. They have a great owner. Rick Carlisle's a really good coach. They go from Dirk Nowitzki to Luka Doncic. You're thinking, oh my gosh, they've had so much success. They haven't won a playoff series since 2011. Can they punch their ticket to the second round? Because that series against the Utah Jazz, if that is the matchup and if the Mavericks do advance, it is certainly winnable. Do you think it's winnable? Who you got in Game 7 on Sunday? For all the marbles as we go the distance in this series, type DAL for the Dallas Mavericks, type LAC for the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm going with the road team again, and I'm going with the Mavs.